Hey guys, it is day 138 and I am out here it's like 77 degrees. It feels acceptable, not as muggy as yesterday, but still quite a bit of humidity in the air. I'm out here today in the Adidas Own the Game 3s. This is their budget shoe. There it is from the other side. So if I sound a little odd, there's multiple apps going on in the background in my ears, and so if I'm talking to you and all of a sudden the app starts talking to me, it's kind of an odd feeling. So first I'm going to talk just a little bit about weight loss and this journey. This past week, for me, technically the week starts on Thursday. It's my weigh-in day, and then that evening I usually kind of like celebrate or whatever, but Friday night is usually a family pizza night. I mean, it can kind of go downhill pretty quickly. Well, for 4 solid nights I have just let it go, guys. It's not been good. It's been fun, but it's not been good. I've snacked, like last night I had a bowl of ramen noodles. Those things are like the least healthy thing for you. And then I had Fruit Loops, like a cup of Fruit Loops. Night before that, Fruit Loops. The night before that, Fruit Loops. The night before that, Fruit Loops. I mean, the last 4 days have been on a freaking loop, so none of that has been good. I have to make changes. I've got 3 days to try to get it right and either plateau for the week or get some weight loss. I haven't stepped on the scale yet, so I don't know really what that looks like. Now, I really do enjoy the looks of these shoes. I'm always a sucker of simple black and white stormtrooper look. And I think for a budget shoe, these things look fantastic. They're pretty sleek looking. Yeah, I'm a fan. I found these things on steep clearance discount. Forgot where I picked them up at, but it was on the back of this clearance rack, and they were discounted to like $15. And I was like, what? And I tried them on. They're nothing magical or anything, but I was like, $15, I'm picking them up. And then they notified me up there. They said, you realize that one shoe is a 10.5 and the other shoe is an 11. And so then I asked, well, which one's the 11? And he said, the right one. I said, perfect. My right foot is a little bit bigger anyway. We live in a weird world. I've got 3 apps on this phone guiding me inside of Bluetooth earbuds. And then my wife gives me a call on the Apple Watch, and I'm sitting here having a conversation with her. It's just kind of a wild time that we're living in. Yeah, so these shoes are 2 different sizes, and I do feel that the right shoe is a little bit more roomier, whereas the 10.5 is kind of like a perfect fit, but there's not much of a size difference. I decided to rock with them anyway for the price, and also just to be able to see what some of these budget lines are like. And I think I already have a pretty good idea. I've just been in them for like 15 minutes and then about 30 minutes casually, and I can say that they're going to offer pretty good traction and pretty good stability, and those are really the 2 probably the most important things that you need within a basketball shoe. The fit in both shoes are very accommodating. I'll speak specifically to the tightest one. It's still very comfortable. It is there's no part of the toe that's coming into connection with the edge of the toe box. It's really nice. The toes are not being cramped, so while my foot is mostly average, it is like on the edge of being wide, and this is very comfortable. I would say wide foot friendly for sure. The feeling of lockdown that I have, they have kind of like this, what I would call like a runner's knot, little eyelet that goes back at the very top. And I wanted to use it, but unfortunately I didn't have enough lace left over, so I had to just kind of rock with the second to last. But that's given me really good lockdown even with that. If you have a narrow foot profile, I think these will still be great for you because again, they're giving you kind of this runner's knot eyelet. The upper appears to be flexible, and yet and breathable, and yet pretty durable as well, because there's these added toe drag guards that are kind of reinforced around the edges, which are really nice. And if I'm being completely honest, I think the only thing that keeps this shoe from being like a high dollar premium shoe is the type of cushion that they use, and then possibly a torsional stability bar or a spring plate or something like that. But barring those two things, you're getting a pretty good setup. So I just looked up some specs on the shoe, and it said Adidas rubber, which again, it's providing good traction. Is it exceptional? Probably not. I can't really gauge it right here, but I think it's going to be more than adequate. And then it said light motion cushioning. Now I think that is the biggest kind of letdown from the shoe. A little knock on it is that it is more stiff. It is adequate. I also have an orthotic in here, and that orthotic gives me about a 1/8 inch silicone pad for my heel to land on. It easily fit in here. So I would say if you paired this shoe up with an aftermarket orthotic or a little insole that would provide you with a little bit more of a cushion, I think you're going to have a fantastic shoe. So even if you found these used for like bargain basement prices, again, put in a little cushion. For a person like me, I really like the cushion. You do that, and I think you're going to have a wonderful shoe. If you're out there and you're on a really tight budget, and you want something new that still looks great, you know, this is a really great option, especially if you play ball but your family doesn't have a lot of money. Then pick up a shoe pickup like this, and if you can, you know, you got a little bit better of an insole that you can throw in there, that'd be great. Because the cushion is really my only complaint about this shoe so far. It's just a little too stiff for me. But maybe if you're a lighter guard, you know, this would still be a pretty good setup for you. You wouldn't really need as much impact protection. So yeah, this morning's workout started off casually, out here choking to death, but it started casually with a 25-minute walk, and I'm going to have to start running soon if I can live through all of this freaking crap that's making me choke. So I just completed 6 little cycles of 20-second jogs, 1-minute walks, and do that 6 times. Just that little bit of exercise right there sends me into a sweat. It's taken me a long time to build up my tolerance for walking, and it'll have to do the same for jogging and running, you know. Hey guys, sorry I had to end that one early. My phone ran out of space on the walk. I ended up doing 3.2 miles, I believe, today, and the shoes performed rather well. I have to be honest, I don't really care for them from a cushion standpoint. However, in part of that honesty is that I did set a personal best in these shoes for the mile, and that's out of every shoe that I've tested for almost a month now, it seems. You've got, what's ironic about it is that the top 2 personal bests have been set in basketball shoes with firmer setups, budget basketball shoes, mind you. So my body is responding and does better when I have something firmer underfoot. Now, I don't like it as much, but it seems to be responding a little bit better in terms of speed. So take that as you will. All right, guys, that's going to do it for me today. You all take it easy. Later.